Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking all about the Sephora VIB sale. It does begin on April 14th and I will leave all sale information and dates down in the description box for you guys so you know when you can shop. But today I wanted to share with you guys some of my recommendations for the sale. These are products that I use almost daily, if not weekly. They are kind of my holy grails, my tried and trues, because I know not everybody can afford $1,000 orders from Sephora. But if you were looking to splurge on a new item or two, then I wanted to share with you some items that I genuinely love and have used for a long time. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. I am going to start with the primers category, and I did kind of categorize stuff just to make it easy. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So I did group these items by categories. I have makeup, I have hair care, I have fragrances, I have a little bit of everything. So I will leave a list of all of the products down in the description box for you today because there is a lot I'm going to be talking about. And if I have one tip, if you are going to shop the sale, I always say add all the things that you want to your cart beforehand. So that way the morning of the sale, all you have to do is go in, type in the promo code and hit checkout. You don't have to spend time finding everything because sometimes things go pretty quickly. So let's jump into primers. Now this primer is one that I picked up recently. This is the Refi primer. I've been using it for probably just over a month now and I really like it. It's a lightweight primer. It's a little sticky, but it pairs beautifully with some of my foundations that I love. So for that reason, this one has made the video. The next one is the Hourglass Airbrush Vanish Primer. I love this one so much more than the Mineral Veil Primer. This has just been a favorite of mine for quite some time. Of course, I have to mention the One Size Beauty Primer because this one has been probably a go-to of mine for several years, basically since it launched. I just love the way this looks on my skin and how it pairs with my foundation. If you know anything about me, you know that I am a huge Dior beauty lover, especially when it comes to their complexion products. They seem to work really well with my skin. So I do have, of course, their primers in this video. The first one is the Dior Backstage Primer. This is the first primer I ever tried from Dior. And this is kind of the product that made me fall in love with Dior Beauty. Next up is the Dior Velvet Veil and Glow Veil primers. These are newer launches for Dior Beauty, but as soon as they launched, I had to try them both and kind of compare them. And I absolutely love them. The Glow one I tend to reach more for in the winter or when it's really dry and I'm kind of needing a little bit of extra glow. I love that one. I think it might be a little too much for me in the summer only because it gets so hot here and you're just sweating all day, every day. It's disgusting. But the Velvet Veil, I really love. If you don't know, I do have dry skin, so I have to be careful on matte products. And I love Dior Beauty because their matte products are not too matte, not overly drying. You still feel very hydrated, but get all of the benefits of the matte finish. And I love this one because you still look like you have your natural skin and not like a damn skeleton. So I love these primers. While we are on the Dior Beauty kick, I of course have to mention the Dior Forever Foundation. And I am in the shade 3N. I have repurchased this more times than I can count. I genuinely love this foundation. I do love the matte version a little bit better than the glow version, but I still like that one. So depending on what you like as your finish. You could go either way, but my preference is the Forever Matte. My next favorite foundation is the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. They always have such long names. I wear the shade 6.5 in this one, and I love the way this makes your skin look. It's not heavy. I am the type of girl, I love full coverage foundations, but I want them to be weightless. And all of the foundations I'm going to mention are in that category, which is why I absolutely love them. I was going back and forth between mentioning these next two foundations because I have talked about them for years, and it kind of feels like I'm beating a dead horse by mentioning them, but they are still my ride or die foundations. So I had to mention them. They are the Shiseido Radiant Lifting Foundation and the Self Refreshing Foundation. I love them both equally. They have slightly different finishes, but really unnoticeable. You really can't tell. They just have different underlying properties. They are beautiful. They are full coverage. These two foundations are the foundations that made me fall in love with the Shiseido beauty brand, the makeup line in particular. I love them. Every time I have a photo shoot, I wear this foundation. Anytime I have a big event where I want my skin to look flawless, these are my go-to. I just love them. You guys know I've talked about them for years, but this last foundation is newer to me. And again, I've probably been wearing it for a little over a month now, but I've been wearing it every single day to work and I really love it. It is the foundation that I'm wearing today on my skin. It is the YSL All Hours Foundation. It does have a luminous matte finish, which I feel like definitely speaks to what my skin looks like right now. I love the coverage on this. And this one's very interesting because the product itself is a little bit more liquidy than some of the other foundations I mentioned. Like the other ones are more of like that thick cream, thick liquid, if you will. This one definitely is a little bit more on the runny side. Not a bad thing, but it still gives you that super full coverage, which I love. So you cannot go wrong with any of these foundations. They are all great. It just kind of depends on what you are wanting to try. Next up for the concealer category, we have the NARS, what is this one? The NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is the concealer I use under my foundation to cover any acne spots, and I use it in the shade Medium 2 Ginger. I know it's been sold out on Sephora for quite a while, but I did take a peek and a bunch of shades, including this one, are back in stock. So hopefully they are still there when the Sephora sale launches. I love this. It's a thick cream concealer, but it wears beautifully under makeup and it doesn't get weird. So I love that one. I also love the Dior Skin Correct Concealer. I will use this sometimes under makeup, sometimes above my makeup. It just kind of depends on what I'm going to use it for that day. Either way, it wears beautifully. The coverage is amazing and I just love the formula. And of course, I have to mention my One Size Beauty Concealer. I use it in the shade Light 3N. This is definitely a go-to for me, and it gives you the most beautiful, flawless under eyes. And the last concealer I have to share with you guys is this one from Hourglass. This is one of my newer concealers. I wear it in the shade Oat. And it is the shade that I have on my under eyes today. I love the formula. It's very full coverage. I really like the applicator as well. I'm gonna show you. So it is like a typical doe foot, but if you can see, it's really, really flat, and the wand itself is very flexible. So you can really kind of press it on your under eye and swipe. It's just, I love everything about it. Next up for setting powders, we have the One Size Beauty setting powder. Again, this is kind of a holy grail go-to for me. I've repurchased it, I don't know, a gazillion times. I think at this point, it's a good one for me. I love it. This one is one that definitely grew on me, and it is the Laura Mercier. It's their newer translucent setting powder. It's the Ultra Blur one. And when this launched, I loved everything about this powder. I have it all over my face today. Love it. But the smell really just kind of turned me off. It smells like your grandmother's mothballs. Like I've said that before in my first video. And yes, it still stinks, it does. But I feel like the more I use it, the more I don't smell it, which is perfection. So I just keep using it so I don't smell like an old grandma. But I absolutely love this powder. It gives your skin the most beautiful finish. And this one, I think I've repurchased about, I want to say 6 or 8 times already. It's definitely my everyday powder since trying it. For cream bronzer, I decided to share with you guys the Huda Beauty bronzer. This has been probably my favorite cream bronzer for years now. I absolutely love it. I'm like literally almost out. I've gotten so many of them. I use it in the shade light, and in the summertime, I will go to a medium. I love this. It blends so beautifully on me. It doesn't get patchy. You can pair whatever you want with it, and it never gets weird, which I love. So I didn't mention any powdered bronzer products only because the ones I use every day and the ones that I love are from the drugstore, which you can't get from Sephora. So moving right along to cream blushes, I have to mention the Rare Beauty cream blush because it is incredible. It's very intimidating, I will say that, but I like to just put it on the back of my hand and use a brush from my hand to apply it versus swiping it directly on your face, because otherwise it's just like a whole Picasso piece in itself. But if you want a little bit less of an intimidating blush, the Merit Beauty blushes are so gorgeous, so beginner friendly. The pigmentation is beautiful. This one is in the shade Beverly Hills. It's just, I love this color. It is so beautiful. It's so hard to kind of tell on my hand, but I love the blushes. The formula is just top notch. Moving along to highlighters. Dior highlighters have been some of my favorites for years. This one that I'm sharing with you in particular is shade number 3. The packaging did change slightly, but these give you the most gorgeous blinding glow, and they're such a beautiful, beautiful formula. Like, it's definitely a go-to highlighter for me. And the other highlighter that I love, which I don't have a big, like a full-size bottle, but it's the Iconic London, and I pulled this out because I wanted to remember to talk about it. But the just original champagne highlighter, this stuff is amazing. I love it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful liquid highlighter. Moving on to lip products, I have to mention my favorite Patrick Ta lip liner in this shade. She's Strong. It's my favorite everyday lip liner. It's a brown nude. I swear by it. And of course, the Sephora collection lipsticks, they are incredible. This is my everyday lipstick. It's the shade Tan Lines, but their lipsticks are amazing. And I think full price, they're only $9. So with the Sephora sale, it will be 30% off. I have several of the Lip Story lipsticks, and they're amazing. The next lip product is a little bit more on the luxury side, but I mentioned it because I love this formula. It is so creamy, it's non-drying. It almost feels like you're applying a lip balm, but it is a long-lasting, long-wearing lipstick. And it is the newer Hourglass lipsticks. This one is in the shade Lynx 338. It's just, the one I have is like a beautiful brown red. It's gorgeous. I love this formula. I did pick it up in a few other colors, and again, the formula is amazing. Moving on to hair care, the first product I'm always gonna mention because it's a ride or die for me is the K18 mask. Mine is the large size because it is the professional size, but I swear by this mask and I recommend it to everybody. I just love how it performs on the hair and how it repairs the hair. The next few products are some that I use literally every single week when I wash my hair. The first one is the Color Wow Dream Coat. There is nothing like it that I have found that combats frizz like this one. The Living Proof Flex Hairspray has quickly become a ride or die for me. This hairspray literally leaves no sticky residue. You can spray it on your hand as soon as it dries, like nothing. You feel nothing. It's incredible. I actually use this in wet hair and then blow dry my hair. I use it on dry hair too, but I use this every single time I'm gonna blow dry my hair. I love it. I swear by it. And these two combined are holy grails for me. Like, I don't know what it is about these two products, but together, boom, powerhouse. I was so unsure about this mask for so long, and I finally caved and tried it. It is the Chris Appleton Color Wow Money Mask. And now I understand why people love it so much, because I have completely fallen in love with it. It's almost a gel-like, slime-like consistency. It's very strange, but when you rinse this out of your hair literally feels like silk. It's not heavy like traditional cream hair masks. And I don't even know how to explain it. Like, your hair just feels so good, so buttery, soft, silky. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. My Ride or Die Dry Shampoo is from Living Proof. This is the Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo, but I do also love the, I think it's called Perfect Hair Day Dry Shampoo. It's the one in the darker bottle. Love them both, but I just always end up repurchasing this one. I love it. It's in my hair right now because we're going on day, I don't know, 4 or 5, but I love that dry shampoo. And the last product I am going to mention is the Color Wow Bombshell Volumizer. My brain stopped working. I love this because it gives you volume, but what I love about it more is how lightweight it is, because it's a foam. So even if you have baby fine hair and you want volume, but you don't know what to use because a lot of products weigh your hair down, this literally feels like foamy water. It is so lightweight, but gives you sky high volume. So I absolutely love it. And the last two products I'm going to mention is from the fragrance category. And the first one is YSL Libre. You can tell I absolutely love it because there's a whole lot of nothing left. I love this fragrance. It is one of my go-to fragrances. I always repurchase this one because it smells so good. It does have a floral, feminine, kind of a fresh spring scent to it, and I love it. And the last product is this fragrance from Dior right here. I love this fragrance. This is one of the fragrances that I have loved since I got the sample. Like, literally, I got a sample of it, smelled it, and immediately purchased it in full size. Like, I didn't even try the sample. Like, I didn't use it up. I knew. And this is definitely my everyday fragrance right now. I love it. It smells incredible. It's floral and it has a slight powdery undertone to it, but you really don't smell that powdery scent. It's very feminine. It's floral. It's beautiful. It smells high end. It's just a really good, sophisticated scent. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I ran through a ton of products, but I promise they're all listed down in the description box in case you wanted to reference anything. I will also leave all the sale information in the description box as well, so you know when you can shop and what percentage you get off. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.